Hello everyone, this is Mike's Toontown, and we have made it to 2026. Crazy, isn't it? Well, I've decided to do something a little different this year. Okay, maybe it's not too different, because I technically did it last year, albeit with a community post. But I've decided for my plans and resolutions for 2026, I decided to make a video about it. There will be some updates in this video as well, so if you're curious about what's going to go down this year, then definitely keep watching. So before we get to any of the resolutions, I wanted to address an overall change to the channel, and that is my logo, the Mike's Toontown logo. This logo that you're seeing on screen, I've been using this for a long time. I'd want to say since 2021 or 2020, I'm not so sure. This is not the first variant of it. There was another variant with a different font that I don't have installed anymore. But yeah, this, this simple Soup of Justice font that, the red lettering and the yellow outlining, that's what you all know, obviously. But, some of you who follow my friend ToonFan91 may have seen that he has made his own logo for my channel. This wonky looking logo, which, he's used in some of his videos and fan art. He's told me that, he's totally okay with me using it, but the thing is, I love the wonkiness, but I was never crazy about the font. So I told him this, and I'm like, hey, if you can remake this logo with the Soup of Justice font, then I'll totally use it. I will totally use it. And, yeah, he got on the ball, and he hooked me up, so, feast your eyes on the new Mike's Toontown logo, courtesy of ToonFan91. It is glorious, ain't it? It's got that big, bold Soup of Justice font that I like. It's wonky, which definitely fits, like, the personality of my channel. One detail I like is that TOON, the colors for the TOON part are inverted, or, like, they're swapped, which, is unusual, which, hey, that's how I roll. Unusual is, like, my middle name. And, not only did he give me the simple horizontal variant that you always see, he gave me other variants, too. Like, he did, like, MTT, the initials, which I sometimes use for stuff. You'll probably see that get added to my, profile picture. Hell, it probably already happened, honestly. Then he gave me two other variants that I've never tried before. He gave me a completely vertical variant, which, I don't know if I have any ideas for it at the moment, but I could probably use it one way or another. But this next variant, I absolutely love. And it's something that I am absolutely kicking myself over. I'm kicking myself that I've never actually thought to do this. The stacked variant, where he put my name above Toontown. I love it. I love it so much. It kind of gives me vibes of, like, the entrance sign to, like, Mickey's Toontown in Disneyland. I don't know if that's what he was going for, but, hey, I love it. I love it. This one you might see the most, honestly. You might see this one a hell of a lot more than the completely horizontal one. But yeah, ToonFan91, he did an outstanding job with these new logos. And he also went out of his way to make Halloween and Christmas variants. I don't really do those kind of things anymore. But if I ever decide to, do a Christmas video or a Halloween video that calls for it, then I just might use these. I might just use them. So, yeah. I gotta thank you again. He will be getting himself a permanent credit on the channel's info section, or the About Me section of the channel. So, yeah, and you can follow him there as well. So, yeah, thank you again so much for that. I greatly appreciate your help. But anyways, now that we've gotten past that overall update for the channel, it is time we discuss the resolutions. The first one is just a standalone, just not really associated with anything. It's just an overall resolution. The past few years, you've realized I've done big projects, obviously. Whether it be, like, related to Plush Brains or not related to Plush Brains. There's always been a big project the past few years. And, while I do enjoy making those, the problem is, they can take up, like, most of the time. And, as a result, I may not be able to get, like, other videos out, or it might wear me out, and then, like, the rest of the year, I'm just, like, just kind of dead. So, I've decided for this year, I'm going to hold off on doing big projects. So, there won't be any big projects this year. The only exception I'm thinking about is maybe another Q&A, but that is not guaranteed. In fact, I should point out that all of the resolutions I'm going to be talking about today are not guaranteed. So please take everything I'm about to talk about with a grain of salt. But yeah, I've decided that there won't be any big projects this year, unless I absolutely feel dedicated, but I want to focus on Plush Brains and other things. On the subject of Plush Brains, we should probably move on to that. I have all of my shows listed here with their own, like, separate updates and resolutions. So we're going to go through all of them. So first up is Plush Brains. You may notice that there's always trouble getting those out, either because Cartoony Gameplay is always having me, you know, in a mess, or a big project is kind of, like, preventing me from making them. So I've decided this year I want to put my focus on Plush Brains, and I'm going to try and set goals for myself. I guess I kind of got inspired by a friend, so yes, I've decided, you know what, goals might be a good thing to have, because usually what I do is that I just put a whole bunch of shit on a list, and then I try to shoot for whatever ones I can do, or whatever ones I want, and as a result, the list always ends up going unfinished. So this year I've decided to put goals on myself. So, for Plush Brains, I at least want to do 3, because that's usually the most I can do. Like, that happened in 2022 and 2023. So, if I can get 3 or more of those out, then that would be a goal. I actually have one in the planning phase as we speak. Hopefully, it starts production soon. No guarantees, but again, we'll have to wait and see. That's all the news for Plush Brains. Next up is Cartoony Gameplay. And first off, I need to address the intro for Cartoony Gameplay. Now, this intro I've been using since 2020, I believe, and I think it was about time. It was time for an update. I did mention the new logos for the channel, obviously, from TOON Fan, and I did actually include that in this. I will be showing you any new intros that were made. This new logo will be added to some intros, but overall, those intros are not really that different in the grand scheme of things, like Plush Brains. So you won't be seeing, you know, the new variant with the new logo. But Cartoony Gameplay, on the other hand, that intro was rebuilt from the ground up. And I think you all might enjoy it. So I just want to show you the new intro. So take a look. So yeah, that was the new Cartoony Gameplay intro. I've decided to add plush elements to it because, you know I mostly do Cartoony Gameplay videos, but I always view myself as a plush tuber first and foremost. So I kind of think that that's necessary to tell people that this is a plush channel. I know it's a little risky, it might alienate somebody, but I don't care. So yeah, I think it's about time I finally made that choice. And I updated some of the games in question. Like, some of the games, they were already in there from the old intro, like Battle for Bikini Bottom and Toy Story 2. But I placed other games. It's all the same franchises, but I replaced the options with better games. Like, Road Rage got replaced with Hit and Run for Simpsons. The Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius game on GameCube and PS2 got replaced with Attack of the Twonkies. Shrek on Xbox got replaced with the Shrek 2 game. And then Muppet Adventure Chaos at the Carnival, or whatever the hell that game was called, was replaced with Muppet Race Mania. So, yeah, some better options, if I do say so myself. And you may notice the music was slightly different. Same tune from Lights, Camera, Pants. It's just not the same version as the one from Plush Brains. Because Plush Brains, it was the version from Rock Bottom, the Rock Bottom game. But just at a higher pitch. Whereas this is the main menu music. So, still similar, but not exactly the same. I think that was a necessary change. So, yes, hope you look forward to seeing that in more Cartoony Gameplay videos. And I have a whole list of Cartoony Gameplay stuff here I gotta discuss. On the subject of the new intro, there will be a variant for Rugrats Month. That is if I do Rugrats Month this year. The last one was so messy, so horrible, I don't even know if, I can keep going with it, because I'm running out of good options for Rugrats Month. So if there is a Rugrats Month this year, it might be the last one. But I don't know. I can't guarantee that. Only time will tell. But if one does happen this year, then you will see a new variant of this intro. We'll have to rebuild that from the ground up yet. I haven't made it yet, so you won't see it until then. But yeah. But moving on to goals for Cartoony gameplay. So I always try to get at least one Let's Play out every year. There will probably be a point where I have to take a break just so I could, you know, take a rest, obviously. And then, like, if I get sick or something, then that's something I'm going to have to focus on. But one thing I want to try is, for any month where I'm not doing a big Let's Play, I at least want to get, like, a mini Let's Play out, or a small Let's Play that consists of, like, 3 or 4 or even 2 parts. We've seen that happen before. And I usually like to do those either at the beginning or the end of the month. So, yeah, that will probably happen this month, honestly, because I got to work on a Plush Brains video. So, yeah. I don't know what I'll do for this month. So, again, only time will tell. But I can tell you what the first big Let's Play will be, which will be coming in February. And that is New Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, as I said, or as you've seen from the announcement last year, I can finally do DS and 3DS games. So I thought that would be a good choice for the first one, since, you know, that game's turning 20 years old this year. So, yeah, I think that will be a very good choice. And, yeah. So I mentioned Rugrats Month before. This is the next update. I mentioned Rugrats Month, obviously. It's always meant to celebrate Rugrats. The reason why it's in August is because it's to celebrate, you know, that's the anniversary month for Rugrats. That's when it premiered in 1991. So I thought, hey, every May I tend to play a SpongeBob game. So why don't I have a SpongeBob month? So yeah, this year I will mark May as SpongeBob month. I can't tell you what game I'm going to be playing for that, but yes, I will say that from now on, May will be regarded as SpongeBob month. I thought, if I'm doing it for Rugrats, why am I not doing it for SpongeBob? So yes, and there probably will be a variant of the new intro for that as well. I have an idea for it, and when you see it, it may look familiar, but I'm not going to say what it is now. And then the final update I have in regards to Cartoony gameplay are the Mario Party videos. Now, I did say after making the Mario Party 5 video that I would be going back to Mario Party 1, and now that the foundation has been set for all of these videos, they can come out a lot faster. But the more I think about it, I don't know if I really want to do that. I don't really know if I want to overdo it because, you know, for one thing, they take a lot of work, or they don't take a lot of work, but they take a lot of time to make. And I feel like if I'm making them all the time, like, that could affect other projects, you know? So I've made the difficult choice that I don't think I'm going to go through with making any more Mario Party videos. Plus, I think this will also help make the ones that I've made already special, or they'll help them stand out a bit more. Because, you know, I guess sometimes that's probably a good idea. Like, less is better, because then it's more special. If you keep doing it over and over again, then it just gets stale. So, yeah, I think as it stands, Mario Party videos are not on my radar anymore. I am thinking about one idea, but I don't know if it will go through with that. If it does, you'll see it when it happens. I can't say what it is for sure, only because I don't want to raise expectations. And that's all my resolutions for Cartoony gameplay and all my updates. So moving on would be Plush Brains unboxing. I only have 2 updates for this, and one is a new logo. It's kind of a little bit of a variant of the old one, except I think it's a little bit better looking, or a lot better looking, honestly. And I didn't make, by the way, TOON fan didn't make this one. I made this one. But yeah, I think it's a little bit better. It helps it stand out a little bit more. So yeah, that will be the new logo for Plush Brains unboxing. And then I have finally decided to make a brand new intro. Rebuilt it from the ground up. And yeah. So, like, you know, the original Plush Brains unboxing logo that I've been using for almost 5 years now, that is just pretty much reminiscent of the Plush Brains Storytime intro, which was cheap as all hell. So I've decided to completely remake this intro and have it on the same lines as Cartoony gameplay. So take a look at that. Is it better or is it better? So yeah, that will be the new intro for whenever Plush Brands unboxings happen. Again, those videos tend to happen whenever they do. It's not like an ongoing series, if you will. It's hard to explain really, but basically, yeah, you'll see it, obviously. I'm sure I'll get at least one unboxing video out. It's always guaranteed that at least one happens every year. So, yeah, I hope you liked that new intro. So, yeah. Moving on. The goals for How To Patrick Star. Last year, I kind of slumped a bit. I only did 2 videos. I wanted to try and do 3 or 4. The first year for How To Patrick Star, I did 4. I think. Did I do 4? Oh, wait, no, that was 3. The first year, which was 2023, I did 3 videos. And then the second year, which was 2024, I did 4 videos. But last year, I only did 2. Probably because the movie was in the way. But this year, I want to try and at least get back to that standard goal of at least 3 videos. If I can do more, that's good. But I'm going to try and at least shoot for 3 How To Patrick Star videos this year. And more if I can, make it happen. And some of you may notice that the next episode will be episode 10. So, naturally, I got to do something for that. So I've decided it's time to tackle something. It's time for Patrick to tackle something that I'm fairly certain was inevitable. I don't know how many of you are going to take to it, but I'm just going to tell you what the next episode is going to be about. The next episode will be how to annoy Squidward. I think it's important that I announce this now. That way I don't, anger people by surprise or something. I don't know. Set the expectations, if you will. Come on, guys. It was inevitable. I don't want to see no poor Squidwards. We all knew it was going to happen at some point. And I think episode 10 is probably the time. So, yeah. I don't know when that will happen, obviously. But look forward to that when it does. So, yeah. Moving on. The brand new show from last year. Guessing with Plankton. The goals for Guessing with Plankton. Now, Guessing with Plankton, those videos... I'll say that, it may look like there's a lot that goes into them, but truth be told, there really isn't. I mean, that's a lie, there is. But the benefit is it's a very small thing. the videos are only, less than 10 minutes long. So they're really simple to make, actually. They're simple to record. Editing can be a little bit of a mess, but nothing overly complicated. So that's the sort of thing that I could see myself doing at least, 5 videos. More if I'm lucky. Again, I always like to set myself at least one goal. And given how short the Guessing with Plankton videos are, I can at least guarantee that 5 of them will happen. Or at least I could try to do 5. And if I can do more, then that's a good thing. Some of you may have noticed that the next episode will be episode 5. I was going to do something bigger for episode 5. But I think I'm going to save that for episode 10. Instead, for episode 5, I have something else planned. I'm not going to say what it is. You'll have to wait until a later time to find out what it is. So, yeah. But, moving on from that, that's all of the resolutions. But I do have an update regarding Guessing with Plankton, and that is the possibility of me having to reuse characters. Now, obviously, the whole premise of Guessing with Plankton, the whole fate of the videos depends on the topic at hand and the character I group them with. And, of course, the primary, candidates for these videos are the idiotic characters. So, there is always a possibility that I'm going to run out of them. So, while the topics I could use for Guessing with Plankton are pretty much endless, the characters aren't. So, there may be a chance that you might see some characters come back in future videos. I'm not saying anytime soon, of course, unless I think it fits that character. But, yeah, all I'm going to say is, characters like Patrick, or Ernie, or, Billy Bob, they are very eligible for returning. So, yeah, just putting that out there, obviously. Moving on, we now have goals for, Mike's Toontown commentary videos. Those are very simple videos to make. Very simple videos. I want to try and aim for 6 videos. Hopefully. If I can do more of them, then that will be good. But, yeah, there's not really much else to say there. Those are simple videos to make. I want to try and aim for at least 6 of them. So, let's hope I can do that. Moving on, this is something that didn't happen at all last year. tier list videos. You may notice I didn't do a single one last year. In fact, the only thing that happened with tier list videos was that I unlisted all of them. Granted, they're not entirely gone to the public, but you know, at the moment I was just like, no, they haven't aged well. Let's just take them down. So I've decided after thinking it, I did say that it was possible that once the new year started, I would relist them. And that's what I'm going to do. However, the comments will be turned off, and I will have a thing in the description just explaining that it's outdated. Certain things don't reflect how they are now. And as a result, I'm actually thinking about remaking 3 of the tier list videos I've made. I might as well just tell you them since I don't know if they're going to happen. But those tier list videos are the Nickelodeon crossover games tier list, the SpongeBob games tier list, and the Mario Kart games tier list. Those 3 are on the table for remakes. So, yeah. And when I remake these videos, if I remake them, they won't have the Kermit voice. I don't know why I even thought it was a good idea to do the Kermit voice for those videos, especially since they don't really appeal to just plush tubers. So, yeah, that was my bad. So when I re-upload those, I will be using my normal voice. It probably won't make the older videos look any better, but screw it, you know? I think it's a natural thing to do. And that's all the updates and resolutions I have for the tier list videos. But now let's move on to 2 more shows. We still got 2 more. And the next one is Plush Brain Story Time. Now, some of you noticed I didn't make a single episode last year. Come to think of it, yeah, the whole thing had been going downhill rapidly. The first year, there was 10 videos. Second year, there was 8, not counting the live streams. But then the third year, there was only 1. And then the fourth year, there was only 1. And that was like way over a year after the one from the third year. So, yeah. You may have noticed that last year in 2025, there wasn't anything. There was no Plush Brain Storytime videos whatsoever. And that is because I had quietly canceled that show. Yeah. I know when I did the Christmas Spectacular, people were like, yay, the return of Plush Brain Storytime. We finally get to see more. Well, truth be told, fellas, I didn't want to say it, but I think it's about time. That was always planned to be the last episode. I realized it was episode 20. You know, it was the last episode I did. I don't know if that was worthy enough of a proper send-off. I decided this would be a good way to end the series. So, yeah, the Plush Brain Storytime Christmas Spectacular was the send-off for the series, secretly. I quietly canceled the show afterwards. And the reason why I canceled that show is because, well, I just didn't like making those videos. At first, I was enjoying myself, but over time, I just grew sick and tired of it. There's been moments in the recording sessions where I'm just like, God, I hate doing this. But yeah, I just decided it's time to let go because it just took too much effort. I wasn't good at it. Let's just say that. And it was just stupid. Honestly, it was really stupid. But again, I mean, I guess I should point this out. Just because I don't like the series anymore doesn't mean that you don't have to. Obviously. I know that could, like, completely ruin a show for somebody if they find out that the person who made it or a person who was involved with it despised it or despised working on it or despised making it. Don't let my thoughts on the show ruin it. If you still love that series, then that's all that matters. That is all that matters. My opinion does not matter. Yours does. So, yeah. But as it stands, Plush Brain Storytime has just served its purpose as well. Not only was it just a headache to make, and it took too much effort to make, it served its purpose, and that was to keep the characters on screen during the time that I couldn't really make full-on Plush Brains videos. I mean, eventually I did, regardless of what was going on, but when it really got to the time where I could really do what I wanted to do, I kind of moved on, and that was like 2023. So, yeah, and again, I'm not saying that I'm not thankful for this series, because I know it was the reason why I reached 1,000 subscribers. It was what introduced a lot of people to my channel, so that's why a lot of people hold it close to them. And I am thankful for that. As a reason, I am thankful for that. But I think it's ran its course in terms of what I set out to do with it. So it's time we move on from it. I know that is a very ballsy move to make, because the show is turning 5 years old. 2 weeks from now, exactly, I think. So, yeah, I'm really sorry about that, but Plush Brain Storytime is no more. It is officially a dead series on the channel. And on the subject of potentially ending shows, I've been thinking about ending another show. And that's Screen Life DVD Bingo Plush Brain style.
What? What?
Yes, I know what you're all thinking. Are you insane? This is your most popular series. Why would you cancel it now? Well, just for the record, I said I was thinking about ending it. I did not say that I was going to end it now, obviously. But I've been thinking about it a lot, and it's for the same reasons as Plush Brain Storytime, except for the part where I wasn't enjoying myself. I've always enjoyed myself making these videos. I've never had a problem with these videos. It's just, they took way too much effort, and this was a side series, in a sense. So, I think for the side series, when you look at like Guessing with Plankton, or Plush Brains Unboxing, or How to Patrick Star, those don't have as much effort as the Plush Brains videos. Meanwhile, this has a lot of effort, giving the editing and everything that goes into it, and the amount of little clips that I have to sort. It's a mess. It takes a lot of effort to edit, and I don't think I should be putting that much effort into a side series. So yeah, like, plus, like, in a sense, whenever the time comes, whenever, like, you know, a quarter of the year starts, I have to drop what I'm doing and try to get that done before I can start moving on to everything else. And this year, it actually had proven to be pretty difficult, especially with the movie. So, yeah, that was one reason. The second reason was just the overwhelming demand for more. Now, don't get me wrong, I am super happy that people loved this show. I was surprised that so many people love this show. But you can understand the struggle when you upload a new part and immediately people are asking for the next one. So, yeah, that puts a lot of pressure on me because, you know, do I want to continue with what I'm doing or do I want to do what the people want, you know? So, yeah, it got a little out of hand. And then, probably the biggest thing for me, the videos just never really change. Again, and it's part of the reason why I'm surprised that people love this series so much. It's just bingo. At least with, like, Plush Brain Storytime, like, you know, it depends on the story. The whole fate of the video depends on the story. Anything could happen. I could always add, like, skits. I did that with bingo, but the point is, like, those really had the benefit to be something different every time because of the stories in question. This one, however, it's just bingo every time. It doesn't change. Now, I understand why people like it. It's, you know, the reactions of the characters and, you know, how they poke heads with each other, they butt heads with each other. But at the end of the day, it's still bingo. That's all it is. Am I really going to put this much effort into something as simple as this? I don't know. So, yeah, what is the fate of Screen Life DVD Bingo Plush Brain style? Well, I don't know. I said before, I want to focus on Plush Brains this year. So, I don't know if there'll be any videos, honestly. If there are any new videos to come for this series this year, it's only going to be 2. The second half, both halves of the year, basically, will have a part. And then, after the next tournament round, it will be over. That is my idea. So, in a sense, you'll get 2 this year and 2 next year. I know that's a long wait, but alas, it's a difficult choice that I've been thinking about for a while, and I think it's time that I do it because I want to focus on Plush Brains. Plus, very much like what I said about the Mario Party videos, I think it will also help this series in the long-term run, because that way it's special. It remains special, it doesn't become stale, and, you know, I think sometimes the best shows are the ones that don't last very long. I mean, look at Invader Zim, for instance. Everybody loves that show, and yet that show didn't really have a fair chance to really go on for a long period of time. It only had, like, 1 full season, and then it completely got axed, like, during the beginning of the 2nd season. So, yeah, I think that's a prime example of the best shows are the ones that don't last too long. So, yeah, and that's all for my resolutions and updates for 2026. I know that some of those, like the last 2, were definitely a lot to take in, but I will say, to end the video on a much higher note, I want to discuss my resolutions from last year. I wanted to recap on the resolutions from last year from the community post I made and see just how many of them I fulfilled. So let's do that. First up, my first resolution was do a Let's Play for an M-rated game. I did do that, and that was for Conker's Bad Fur Day. And I said that I would discuss this in the recap video for 2025. Yeah, a lot of people, when I announced that Conker's Bad Fur Day was gonna be the first Let's Play for 2025, a lot of people were like, are you sure you want to do that? But YouTube's gonna take it down. YouTube's gonna block you. You're gonna get suspended or something. You're gonna get taken down. And yeah, but basically a lot of people were worried. There was this thing that people were hearing about, even though I hadn't heard anything about it. And then of course, you know, there was just the people who didn't want me to do it. But yeah, and you know, we've made it to almost a year, and the Let's Play is still up. So I told you guys didn't have anything to worry about. I feel like some people were just looking out for me, and I appreciate that. But trust me, I know what I'm doing. So yeah, that went really well. It's probably one of my favorite Let's Plays from that year. It went really well. Next up, limit the amount of new characters introduced. In the post, I said I wanted to try and aim for at least 3 or 5. I did not achieve that. Well, actually, it depends on how you look at it. There were 8 characters introduced. 8? Was it 8? Hold on, let me recap for a second. Yeah, no, it was 7. It was 7 characters. So, yeah. But here's the thing. 3 of them were animal characters who don't talk. So, theoretically, if you don't really count those as full-on characters, then there was only 4. So depending on how you look at it, I either didn't fulfill this, or I did. Who am I kidding? This one was a fail. Moving on, introduce a new female character. I did do that in the form of Lois. Very risky move, and then at the end of the day, I realized I didn't even have to do that. Well, crap. But hey, I mean, it's a resolution that got fulfilled, so whatever. That's all that matters. Next, buy a new character from Etsy. I thankfully did not go through with that. I almost did. It would have been one of those spur of the moment things, kind of like Benya Benya. So as a result, the character I would have bought probably wouldn't have gotten used that much after like 2 months. So yeah, I'm actually very happy that I didn't go through with that. So thank goodness. Next up, make commentaries for my older videos. I did do that. Kind of. I did one at the beginning of the year. I tried to do another one afterwards. That one didn't go so well. I had to hold off until the end of the year. And then, I mean, hey, technically I made commentary videos, just not at a consistent rate. Hopefully I can change that this year, but I can't guarantee that, obviously. They might happen whenever they happen. Who knows? Next up, do another contest. I did not do that. I didn't have time. So, yep, oopsie gravy. I didn't get to do that. My bad. Oh, boy. Next up, introduce a new Plush Brain series. I did do that, and that was with Guessing with Plankton. So, yeah, that one got fulfilled, 100%. No contest there. Moving on, do something big for when I reach 5,000 subscribers. I did do that, and that was the movie. Technically, I mean, I guess you can count the collab as well, but mainly the movie was the one on my radar. This was around the time that the movie was in the early planning phase. So, yeah. The movie was definitely meant to be that, and it did happen, so there you go. And then finally, end the year with another award ceremony. I said that I really couldn't guarantee it, but it happened. So, yeah, I'm very proud of that. I managed to get a couple of big projects out that last year, so, yeah, I'm very happy about that. But yeah, I think that's another reason why I gotta take a break from those. I did too much last year. Whatever, you all liked it, so that's all that matters. And thus, that concludes my New Year's resolutions and updates for now. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you understand some of the stuff I've discussed here. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Be sure you'll follow me on social media. I'll leave links to those down in the description below. And let's try to make this year a good one.